Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Michael Costanzo.
And yes, we have topics to tell you and talk about in the world of sports, entertainment, and odd news in this meal for your mind. So get comfortable and let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. We've got some topics to get to. We'll get to all those in due time. But before we get to the ones we, that are burning off of the plate, we like to do a little personal bit to let you know what we've been up to. We're getting close to Christmas time. We've got the Christmas tree in the background. Mikey, how you doing? Are you getting ready for Christmas? What's your feeling heading into this week?
Yeah, so feeling good, doing great, knock on wood. Oh, geez.
There you go.
What was that? So getting ready for
Too
Christmas.
good. You're feeling too good.
Too good, yeah.
Knocking out the wire.
Yeah, getting ready for Christmas. I got all the Christmas shopping done, got all the wrapping done. It's been busy. I feel like I haven't had like a moment to just sit down and do nothing, because there's always you're always visiting somebody, running an errand, doing some kind of shopping or hosting or attending an event, and it's just one after another.
I feel like Christmas really snuck up this year, because I can't believe this is our last episode before Christmas. It blows me away.
It just, I feel like it snuck up on us.
Yeah. So this whole month has just been going by real fast, but we still are able to give you an episode every week, so that's
Absolutely.
been good. Anything you want to mention that you did this past week?
The big thing, I guess, is that we had our annual Christmas game night here.
Yeah.
Our whole small friend group gets together, plays some games, has some food. So that was a really good time. And that was basically that kind of kicked off the whole week of nonstop boom 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 event after event. Because my brother's coming back into town from Chicago, so...
Hey, Bruno's back!
Yeah, our long-lost associate producer.
Yay!
Yeah, he's going to be...
That's his Naruto impression.
...gracing us with his presence.
Yeah, so there you go. It's been a while.
Yeah, so we got just so much stuff planned.
Oh, this feels so good.
There we go. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Bruno.
Yeah, but really, I haven't had a chance to do anything with all of the scrambling around, I guess, basically is the kind of bottom line of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, what about you? What have you been up to?
So I think you'll agree with me on this. It's kind of like now, before you get into the week leading up to Christmas, it's like you get together with all your friends.
Yeah.
Because you want to see your friends,
Yep.
but you can't have it be too close to when you're getting together with your family for Christmas.
Right.
So this past weekend and the weekend before, it was
do all the friend group stuff.
Friends group,
Yep.
yeah. Our friend group, Rachel's friend group,
Yep.
our neighbors, it was
Because after that, it's family event back to back to back.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but on Christmas Day, I go to 3 different family houses. I go to, we have my fiance's family. Then we come back here and we do stuff with my family. Then we go up to my aunt's house to do stuff with my extended family. So we're making 3, hitting 3 different houses in one day. It's chaos.
You're basically Santa Claus. You have to hit so many houses.
No, the movie that you don't like, 4 Christmases.
Yeah.
I do 3 Christmases. I
Yeah,
can't
you do
imagine.
3.
I can't imagine doing a 4th one in one day. It's insane.
Yeah.
How many have you done in one day? Because you do 3 Thanksgivings now.
I do more Thanksgivings than I do Christmas.
You should make a movie.
3 Thanksgivings.
Do you want to write a spec script with me?
Yeah.
3 Thanksgivings.
3 Thanksgivings.
4 Christmases, 3 Thanksgivings, 2 Halloweens, and 1 partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, but I can give you my experience with 3 Thanksgivings. I can definitely do that. But no, actually, Christmas, it works out beautifully because obviously we're paisans.
Yeah.
So Christmas Eve is the big one for my family.
Yep.
That's the one my mom told me.
You can't miss.
Yeah,
you can't miss that one.
I will find you and kill you if you do not come to Christmas Eve. So that's fine. So that works out, and then Rachel's family does Christmas Day. That's their family big thing.
Right.
So it works out. It's we kind of are able to switch back and forth. It works out pretty good.
It's nice that it works out that way sometimes. Like that's kind of the deal that I have with my fiance, because her family is really big Thanksgiving people. And being Italian, we're like, yeah, we'll get together for Thanksgiving, but it's not the most important. For us, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve particularly.
Yes,
that's the 7 fishes. You have to.
We also do Christmas Day, but it was a good trade off. For like, for her family, we'll do Thanksgiving. Then for my family, we do Christmas Eve and like half of Christmas Day. And so we've always just kind of had that like happy agreement. But the Christmas Eve thing, that is super important.
Yeah.
So
that's the Italian Super Bowl. You have to be there for that.
So we always talk about it. Like, is your mom getting ready with the fish?
Yep.
Like, how many fish are you having? What
yeah,
kind?
7 fishes.
Doing
Oh yeah,
all 7?
It's the whole kit and caboodle. Oh yeah.
People got to. I mean, I assume some of our listeners are fellow Paisan. I assume many are not. Go watch the Netflix movie Feast of the Seven Fishes, and you'll see a glimpse into what we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I keep telling you to watch it.
I know. I haven't.
But you're
watched
not.
it.
You're
I'm
not
sorry.
watching it. I'm like a broken record. But but no, my mom's got the bacalao going.
Oh yeah, she was actually just cleaning it before.
Doing it earlier.
That was funny.
Like an hour ago.
She was
dumping out
actually
the old
just-
water.
Yeah.
So
Here at the Crispy Noodle headquarters. Yeah, she was just about
We're-
cleaning it out. Yeah.
we're a fully functional restaurant, a podcast studio. In the past, we've given medical and legal advice.
Yeah.
We're a one-stop shop.
Yeah. So there's a lot you can learn by just sticking around with us and doing this podcast. So.
Have we rambled too much though? Are we delaying the inevitable?
Yeah. Should we get to the uncomfortable topics that we need to get to?
Why not?
I mean, it only makes sense. Just get it right out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's launch into the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
That's right. Sports coming at you in your face. And we got to talk about the Eagles dropping the game on Monday night to the Seahawks in embarrassing fashion.
Where are my Eagles?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know where they
That's
are.
the $1 million question for us here as the Eagles drop their 3rd straight game.
Where are my Eagles?
Because this does not feel like the Eagles team that went to the Super Bowl last year. This does not feel like the Eagles team that started out this season 10-1 and looking pretty good. But
Yeah, that was a long time ago. It feels like.
yep.
Man, I don't even know where to begin. I guess where to begin is.
Oh no! We suck again!
Is that where you want to start?
I mean, that's the only place to start.
Oh no! We suck again!
You talked about the embarrassing fashion of it, and I think that's the best way to sum it up. The 2 previous weeks I've talked about how, after the San Fran loss, I said I don't mind the loss because it depends, it matters how we respond. Then we come out against Dallas and we don't respond. So I was pretty down on the Eagles. I was like, okay, well, let's see if we can stop the slide. And then we come out against the Seahawks, and I guess technically the best defensive performance that we've had the past 3 weeks. But even you can't even really say that because of how the game ended. The Eagles were leading with a minute 50 left. Seattle gets the ball back on their 8-yard line. It's raining. They have 1 timeout. They have a backup quarterback who just learned he was starting like minutes before the game. They drive 92 yards in a minute and 20-ish and cap it off with a 20-plus yard touchdown pass.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
You go 58 minutes, and if you look at the win probability chart,
Oh, that's bad.
it was like all Eagles the entire game. Then
Catastrophic
just
failure.
plummets. I don't know. I don't know. Because, I'm seeing online people are like, well, it's actually one of the better defensive performances. Okay, but ... asterisk,
Yeah, they didn't stop them when they needed to stop
parenthetical
them.
aside, you let a backup quarterback drive 92 yards in the rain with 1 timeout.
Yeah, this one definitely stung. Because the game against the 49ers, it was like, okay, they're due for a loss, and the 49ers had revenge on their mind.
Right.
Saw that coming.
Right.
Then the game against Dallas, division opponent, heated rivalry. We took the first game from them. So, all right, lose that one. Okay, got it. Now Seahawks leading the game for the 58 minutes of this, everything was looking good, and then everything just catastrophically went wrong. The wheels came off, and it just feels like this team is in free fall. This is and it could be quite possibly the worst time to have this happen, because you're trying to get ready for the playoffs. You're trying to instill confidence, and you're going the complete other way. I mean, I retweeted something where it was two teams that are at 10-4. The Lions, they are happy as hell right now. They are on cloud 9. And then the Eagles, 10-4. And it's like
doom and gloom.
Yeah, the sky's falling. And the phone's ringing too.
The
Why
phone's
not?
ringing.
The phone's
I don't
ringing.
know.
We're getting a call from Nick Sirianni.
They're not happy with how things are going here in the headquarters. But we're just gonna plow through it like the Eagles try to do. They just try to plow through without any
Here we are.
idea
Crispy Noodle headquarters.
context or it's over here. The phone is still actively in. As my mom quickly shuffles into the. You can't see her in frame, video viewers. That was fun though.
Yeah.
But just like that, we try things that don't work. We try things. My mom runs the long way around the house to get to the phone. The Eagles try to, instead of killing the clock.
Your mom tried to do a screen pass.
She tried to do a screen pass when really all she needed to do
was run it up the middle.
Slow and methodically make it down the middle of the field to kill the clock, and they couldn't do it. So the Eagles are a geriatric short Italian woman. Is that not how they play football?
Yeah, pretty much. It actually sums it up. That's pretty good.
Where are my Eagles?
But no, enough ragging on my mom. I love her. It's Crispy Noodle headquarters.
Yes. It's a busy time of the year. We got Christmas coming up.
It's a busy time of year.
She's cleaning the bacala. We got things happening.
It's crazy stuff. But I don't know what the Eagles excuse
We have a different camera angle on the video feed.
It's good. It's good though.
Yeah, we're all over the place, so it makes sense.
Yeah. But the real point I wanted to get to is that I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Stop me if I'm going overboard. If I'm hitting the panic button too hard. This team has a lot of hallmarks of a bad team masquerading like a good team. I used to bring this up when Aaron Rodgers was dragging the corpse of a Green Bay team to the playoffs every year. Right?
Yeah.
I always used to say it's a bad team. They just have the one guy, and that's it. And I feel like the Eagles. I feel like we can pretty safely say right now that the Eagles are a similar situation. We're a bad team because you don't change coordinators 15 weeks into the season if you're a good team.
Yeah, it's a little late in the game to do that.
And by say changing coordinators, they didn't. This is what bothers me. This is how I know something's not right. They didn't fire Desai. They didn't demote him. They're like, well, he's still the coordinator. He's just not going to be on the sideline, and he's not going to be calling plays. Instead, Matt Patricia's going to do both of those things. So who's Sean Desai now?
He's the lucky fan of the month.
He's the fan of the week. He gets to watch the game from the coach's booth. But yet Brian Johnson is still there.
Yeah, that I don't understand. I am sick and tired of Brian Johnson.
Truly good teams do not do that. They don't.
Not this late. I mean, the Bills did it, week 9? They got rid of the offensive coordinator.
Would you consider them a good team, though?
I mean, they got talent on that team.
The Eagles have talent on our team, though, but are they good teams?
That's a loaded term.
Okay, so the answer no. The answer is no.
Well, I would expect Buffalo to make the playoffs. But
I expect the Eagles to make the playoffs.
But they're in danger of missing the playoffs.
I expect the Eagles to make it and lose as well.
So, I don't know. It depends on how you're framing that.
I mean, my goal, look, if your goal was to make the playoffs, congratulations on a good season. Well earned.
But it's not for the Eagles.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was anybody's goal to just make the playoffs. That's not hard in the NFC this year. That's not hard in general. They let 7 of these guys in. You know?
Yeah, you just need to have a pulse above 500.
If you're playing it in the NFC South, you just have to be there on game day.
Yeah.
They're like, who's present? and like the Buccaneers raise their hand, like, cool, you're in.
Yeah, at 7 and 8 right now.
Whoever it is now. I don't even know.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's the Buccaneers.
I don't know. Am I overreacting?
No, because this is definitely a time for concern. I'm really worried about the Eagles. You're right. This doesn't seem like the behavior of a good team or a team that was trying to have Super Bowl aspirations this year. So I think the Eagles definitely have fallen down the power rankings in the last couple of weeks, and it's not looking good. And the worst part is even though they have 3 easy games supposedly coming up, because 2 against the Giants and 1 against the Cardinals,
Yeah.
even if they win all 3, it's not going to prove anything. It's just going to be like, oh, well, they beat up on weaker teams.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if we win out, well, if we win out, we may still just be the 5th seed, which is shocking for how we started. We started the season 10-1.
Yep.
To end up the 5th seed. 2, you're right. Are we just beating up on bad teams and then what? Early wild card or divisional exit of the playoffs?
Yeah.
So I mean, to what end? You know my theory, and I will stick to it. You do the best in this league by not being a good team. You need to be an excellent team, or you need to be a bad team and catch everything on the upswing. That's how the Eagles won a Super Bowl. It's how they made it to a 2nd Super Bowl. You get nowhere being a good team.
Or average or slightly above average.
If your team is between 8-9 and 11-6, you ain't nothing. I'm serious.
Yeah. I mean,
How many times?
Especially
all you do is get a worse draft pick, a harder schedule, and you get beat up the most.
Yeah, you don't get a good draft pick, and then you have to play the first rounds of the playoffs.
Yeah, you have a chance to get knocked out by like a hot 7 seed. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
So, I mean, you do have a little bit of a point there. But do you think all hope is lost? Is there what percentage would you give to the Eagles making a run?
So I think that
is it officially over? Is it 0% dead on arrival?
I don't think it's 0. I don't think it's 0%. Because it could be any given Sunday. I think it's damn close to 0 because in my mind, you look at the NFC and sure, we make the wild card. We're going to beat up whatever corpse of an NFC South team shows up. Maybe. Hopefully.
If the Eagles are in the 5th seed. Yeah.
If the Eagles are in the 5th seed. But then we're going to catch either San Fran, the Lions, or Dallas. And right now, we're not better than any of them. Just facts. Hard stop. Unless, schematically, we change everything and Bradbury, loses 3 years off his age.
Yeah.
We're not going to beat those 3 teams. So it's a divisional round exit. As far as I'm concerned, guaranteed. It's not impossible, but they need to make drastic changes now. And by drastic changes, I mean, I think Frank Reich is still sipping a Mai Tai somewhere out there. Go, just fire Brian Johnson. I know he's not the only problem. And I know it's too easy to say fire, but just do it anyway. Because sticking with him doesn't make matters better.
That would be the first step in fixing the problem. Because I can't stand Brian Johnson's play call.
Or if you don't want to fire him,
do the weird demotion
do
thing.
The Desai thing. He's still the coordinator, but he's going to be overseeing the strategy of offensive concepts.
Yeah, do that stuff.
He's gonna manage.
He's gonna watch over the flowers.
Yeah, he's gonna tend the garden. Get somebody.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Yeah, so there you go.
Side note, because you brought the flowers, we talked about this before the podcast. I still like the metaphor that Sirianni gave 2 years ago about the whole garden and flower things. My issue now is that you still have to be able to pivot and switch things to a different gear. And it was working when we were winning, when we were feeling good. But this is the first time this team has faced adversity in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Because this first year, we weren't expected to do anything. And
right, so that was all house money.
like Doug Peterson's first year. Second year, just like Doug Peterson's second year, oh my God, holy crap. This year, just like Doug Peterson's third year, expectations were understandably high. So you have to be able to bring something else out in your team, whether that's through new practicing, new schemes, new play calling, whatever it may be. And I haven't seen that from him. It took him 15 weeks to give up on Desai and switch play calling duties for the defense, but they're still hanging in the word Brian Johnson. And ultimately, with Sirianni being an offensive guru type coach, at some point he needs to take ownership over an offense that is just criminally underusing their weapons.
Yeah, I still do not understand how Swift is only getting
the roster.
11 to 18 touches.
A.J. Brown,
more.
A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, DeAndre Swift. All of those guys are top 5 in their position.
Yeah.
Give or take. Like the wide receivers, top 10, 15 maybe. But like damn near the top for all of them. Offensive line, one of the best in the games. Quarterback, last year's, close to MVP. This year's almost MVP. What in the hell is happening? Like, our talent got us 10 wins, but talent alone is not going to be the end-all, be-all.
Yeah, and it falls under coaching.
Yeah.
And I still do not understand why Brian Johnson has a job. I cannot stand his play calling.
Has to do something, whether it's fire him, take over play calling duties, bring in some kind of offensive consultant like they did with Patricia. They got to do something. And I think my frustration is that I don't see him doing anything.
Right. And he's supposed to be the offensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to hear that, it's only Brian Johnson's responsibility. No, it's Nick Sirianni's responsibility. This is supposed to be his special spot.
It's Sirianni's offense. Like, Brian Johnson comes up with a game plan and calls the plays, and him and Sirianni work together. But ultimately, it's Sirianni's playbook.
Yeah.
So if there's supposed to be somebody who's an expert on it, it should be Sirianni. If Brian Johnson isn't calling it right or is misunderstanding it, you got to step in and do something.
Yeah. That's up to you.
So it's just we have so much talent, and I know we're capable of so much more, and I don't see any changes, and I think that's the most frustrating part. Like, I don't mind if we lose. We went through a lot of losses in our lifetime as Eagles fans.
Yes, that's
We
correct.
had a lot of good years. Yes, maybe we're slightly spoiled being the age that we are and started watching when we did. But we've also had a lot of head-scratching years, too. And I don't mind the losses, but I need to see something being done to correct it.
Yeah. It's very frustrating that it seems like nothing has been done. It seems like it's the same story the last 3 weeks.
So mad right now. I'm like actually annoyed with the Eagles.
It's definitely definitely in the valley right now in terms of the relationship with the Eagles. And I don't know if things are going to get better too. Because again, it's like they got 3 weak opponents to finish out the season.
Well,
if they win all 3, is it because they fixed something, or is it just because they beat up good weak opponents?
Here's the thing, though. You keep saying 3 weak opponents, but 2 of those gamers are division games.
Yeah, Giants. Yeah,
and you
got Tommy Cutlets.
You keep pointing out division games are not givens.
Nope.
Especially the Giants looking to play spoiler at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And also the Cardinals beat up on an easy team. You're telling me Johnathan Gannon isn't looking to screw us over a little bit more?
Ever since he got left behind after the Super Bowl.
No, but I mean, it seems like for some reason he just hates us. So you know that he's looking for some kind of spoiler, revenge, something to prove that he actually was, as competent as he thinks he is or whatever. Like, he's going to throw some kind of wrench into our plans. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose another 1 or 2 of these games coming up.
Yeah. So it's not happy times. It's not sunny right now here in Philadelphia.
It's not always sunny here.
No, unfortunately. But do you want to get into the future? Do you want to look?
Since we're talking about it.
All right, then let's launch into the Fantastic Four Picks Christmas edition. This is these games. They're all Christmas, right? Yeah, Christmas Day and Christmas Eve, yep.
Yeah, your holidays are going to be bright and merry with lots of NFL games to check out. Good ones as well. We kick things off 1 p.m. on Christmas Eve. It is an NFC North Division rivalry and a potential playoff preview as the Detroit Lions travel to Minnesota to face off against the Vikings. Rich, both these teams still very much in discussion for the playoffs. The Lions flying high, the Vikings clinging to life. Who do you think wins this one?
I still would want to go with the Lions. I know the Lions have been very susceptible with division games. They choked one to the Bears and to the Packers. They do have some flaws when it comes to those division matchups, but I think Campbell's going to want to, I think he's going to have that team ready to fire on all cylinders for a Christmas Eve matchup against the Vikings. It could potentially knock the Vikings out of the playoffs as well. Anytime you got a chance to do that, you want to show up and do so. You want to bring the band hammer and knock them out. So I'm going to go with the Lions here to knock out the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I think that the Lions is, not an easy choice, but, I think the best choice here, Jared Goff, is enjoying such a revival of his career here with Detroit.
Yeah.
They've been getting it done offensively, defensively. There's a reason they're 10-4. I don't think they're masquerading like the Eagles were. I think that they're a hot young team looking to really make some waves. And a great way to do that would be to knock off a division opponent and really seal their own fate. They're in control of their destiny here, as people always like to say. So get it done early and, maybe rest your starters in Week 18 if you can rack up enough wins here in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going Lions.
Yep.
Next up, we have two high-flying offenses, maybe even a potential Super Bowl preview. The Dallas Cowboys.
No, don't say that. No.
It's a potential here with these two teams. The Dallas Cowboys traveling to sunny Miami to face off against the Dolphins. This is Christmas Eve, 4:30 game. Rich, I think these are two of the most explosive offensive teams. I think they're first and second in points per game. Are we going to see an absolute airstrike going on here in Miami? What's going on? Who's going to win this one?
So the Cowboys, I think they're a little overhyped. I mean, they took a bad loss to the Bills last week. They came back down to earth.
You also say the Dolphins are overhyped. So who's the most overhyped?
I think Cowboys are a little more overhyped.
Okay.
Dolphins, though, they have started to turn a corner a little bit. They blew out the Jets last week 30-0, and they did not have Tyreek Hill. That to me said a lot. They did not even need Tyreek Hill to light it up on a division opponent. To me, that says a lot about the way that team is structured. I'm sure Tyreek Hill is aching to get back onto the field. And if he's on that field against the Cowboys, I think he's going to light it up, especially at home on Christmas Eve. To me, this sounds like Dolphins all the way.
Yeah, you know that I've liked the Dolphins all year. One of their few losses, weirdly enough, came to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles and the Cowboys defensively they have one thing in common, and that's they have a pretty good pass rush. So if they can get to Tua, the Dolphins are going to struggle a little bit, but I do think that the Dolphins are once again hitting a good stride here late in the season. 4 of their last 5 are wins. Same for Dallas, but they had a really embarrassing loss to the Bills in a game that I thought they should have been able to handle, a middling Bills team, and the Bills they just ran it straight through them.
Yep.
And if the Dolphins can replicate that game plan, and it's not like a crazy 4D chess game plan, it's just run the ball. I don't know why the Eagles couldn't.
Yeah, go figure.
Go figure. If the Bills can pull it off, the Dolphins certainly can, because they have a top 5 rushing team this year. So I'm leaning slightly towards Dolphins, but I am still a little worried about the Cowboys. The one good thing, Cowboys 3-4 as the away team, Dolphins 6-1 at home. So I'm hoping the Dolphins can win this one. Help out the Eagles a little bit. Next up, we have probably the actual Super Bowl. It is both a rematch and a preview of a potential Super Bowl. The Baltimore Ravens traveling to San Francisco to face off against the 49ers. This is the gift on Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day primetime football. Rich, who wins this one? These are probably the 2 top teams in the league right now. This is going to be a Super Bowl preview. Calling it now. Who's going to take Act 1?
Yeah, this really is going to be a great game to watch Christmas night. I can't wait to sit down and watch these 2 teams battle it out. I'm going to go with the 49ers because they're going to be at home. I think they have more depth than the Ravens do. I think the 49ers just keep coming at you. They can cycle guys in and out. Their second string guys could rival some first string guys on other teams. So I think just that kind of relentlessness, especially on the defensive side of the ball, it just wears you down. I think the 49ers have the slight edge in this, but this is going to be a great game to watch. I can't wait to see who actually pulls this one out. I'm looking forward to this one.
I am so upset because I'm not a huge fan of either of these teams, and the thought of them playing in the Super Bowl just...
Yeah, you're not a big Ravens fan either, are you?
Not a big Ravens fan. I don't trust Lamar Jackson. I'm not a big 49ers fan because...
I know you're not a big 49ers fan.
They are a bunch of whiny little sumbitches, but the one part of their defense that is not as good as the others would, I guess, technically be their pass defense. But Lamar Jackson... I hate to say it, but if they're going to beat you, he's not going to beat you with his arm. So they're playing straight into the strength of that San Fran defense and being a run-heavy team, run-first team. I so badly want to say the Ravens, but in my gut, I know it's going to be the 49ers. I hate it, though.
There's an advantage of having Brock Purdy only getting paid $300,000, and that is the fact you can build so much depth.
They have so much depth, so much talent. Like I said, the only way you can beat them is to throw against them, and Lamar Jackson is not going to throw against them. That's just not how their offense is built. So I'm going to go 49ers, unfortunately. And finally, we have the hometown Eagles playing host to the New York Giants. This is a Christmas Day matchup at 4:30. Rich, who wins? Can the Eagles snap their slump, or will the Giants play spoiler?
I think the Eagles do take this one, especially since this game is at Philly. I think that's a lot to ask Tommy Cutlets to handle to try and pull off an upset.
Hey, don't you dare besmirch the good name of Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah, I mean, I love the story. I love the whole Italian thing, but I just think that's too much to ask for. I will say, though, the line being 11.5 as of our recording right now is a little ridiculous. I would say either...
That is ludicrous.
Yeah, I would try and do a teaser or something, get that number down, because I don't think the Eagles are going to win by that much. That seems like a very big ask from the Eagles as well. So if I was betting this, I would say you got to get that number down. You put the Eagles in a teaser.
We have had the Giants number for the longest time. They just can't seem to beat us. Right now, ESPN's matchup predictor says the Eagles have an 87.5% chance of winning. The line is 12. Everything is going Eagles. So I'm going Giants. I have no reason other than pure spite. There's no analysis. I'm just tiffed.
You're just pissed off.
I'm just pissed off. I'm sad. I'm sad because the Eagles, I feel like they hurt me personally, even though they did not do any such thing.
They jabbed you personally.
They did. They jabbed me. They stabbed me right in the back.
You got stabbed in the hat.
Yeah. So
Paulie Walnuts. Remember that scene? Paulie Walnuts. I got stabbed in the hat. How much more betrayal can I take?
That's how I feel right now.
I got stabbed in the hat.
Now I'm gonna go back to my old adage that I've used in previous years of the podcast. I'm gonna keep siding against them until they prove me wrong. 3 weeks in a row, prove me wrong. Go out and win the game, actually. I'm serious.
All right. Well, there you go. That's our fantastic 4 picks for Christmas football, Week 16.
Christmas football.
Yeah. I like that. The way that the games broke down. It's Christmas football, the ultimate gift to unwrap underneath the Christmas tree.
Yep.
So there you go. Our fantastic 4 picks. All right, so there you go there, Mike being doom and gloom with the Eagles. But I know there's something that does that does waken his spirits, and that is a 3-minute drill. We're gonna go over a quick topic, 2 quick topics actually, in 3 minutes or less. Are you ready, Mike?
Let's do it.
All right, 3 minutes on the clock. There you go.
Right.
What do you
this
got?
week in the 3-minute drill, first off, we have some positive NFL news. The NFL is set to play its first game in Brazil in 2024. Brazil, yeah. So in previous years, we played games in London, Germany, now Brazil. We played a game in Mexico. Why are they not played in Canada? I don't know, but
they already have their own football league.
They have the Canadian Football League. But this does continue.
You bastards.
They got weird rules. Their end zone's like shaped weird, and it's like 15 yards.
You can
crazy.
You can kick the ball on the line of scrimmage on 4th down. You get it back or something.
Sure, why not?
It's weird.
I don't know. They got weird backwards rules up there.
Yeah.
But anyway, this
Bah humbug.
Bah humbug. That's right. But this does continue the NFL's push to make American football more popular around the globe, ahead of flag football's debut in the 2028 Olympics. Rich, are we excited to see more international games? What's your take on this? Is this fun for us? Is this bad for teams? What do you think?
It's funny, as I heard an interesting suggestion that if they're going to go this route and try and have more international games, that should be the new requirement in the season schedules, that every team has to do an international game. And I kind of like that.
I would go a step further and say finally expand the season again and add a 19th week that is a second bye week after your international game.
Well, I think at that point they'll do
20.
A 20-week season,
2 bye weeks, 1
2
international
bye weeks.
game.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And I think that I like that idea of every team having to play international. It's not fun or fair that some teams have to go to London. The Jags go there and they spend 2 weeks there and then come all the way back. Talk about,
And the Jaguars are used to it.
The Jaguars are used to it, yeah.
That's actually a home field advantage for them because they're used to the travel.
I've been to London. There's a lot of Jags fans there. It's crazy. It's kind of cool. But I like that they're broadening their appeal. They just have to do it smartly. Somebody that's not very smart, though, is the Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green.
What a transition.
I can't even believe this. He was suspended indefinitely following an incident in which he struck another player on the court. He elbowed him. And of course, this is coming just after returning from a 5-game suspension following an incident in which he choked out another player on the court.
Yeah.
And then that was after an incident earlier this year in which he stomped on a guy's chest.
Yeah.
On the court. And
in the term of a calendar year, he's been suspended 4 different times.
4 different times. He's been ejected from 20 games. That's second all-time in NBA history. Have we reached a breaking point? Should he just be done?
Probably. Yeah, we're getting to the end of the rope here with him. And those are the players that he hurt. There you go.
Except for the guy he choked out.
Yeah, he doesn't even get to scream.
Did you see the clip of the contact?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I didn't mean to.
Well,
yes, you did.
No. He said, for this one, I apologize because I didn't mean that.
Right.
If I didn't apologize, then you know that I meant it. It's that's not the right way of your going about your apology.
It's not how apologies work.
Yeah.
Ready? Repeat after me. I'm sorry. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
all you had to say.
I'm sorry. No, this whole, did I, didn't I don't know, or do I know? Sorry, not sorry. You're done.
Yeah. And
he's done. 4 times in 1 year. If I were commissioner, done. Gone.
Well, that's why he's suspended indefinitely. He's got to show some remorse, and he's got to show a willingness to go to counseling or some sort of therapy.
He's a literal danger on the court.
Yeah, he's got to prove he can be trusted back onto the court, and I think that's why he's suspended indefinitely. And it's a shame too, because other than this, he has a Hall of Fame career. He's got three rings.
In prepping for this, he's like a 4-time All-Pro. I don't know how many time All-Star. He's got the rings with Golden State. He's also just a violent thug. I don't know why you got to tarnish a potentially Hall of Fame caliber career.
Yeah, it's a shame because he should be in the Hall of Fame easily, but if he keeps doing stuff like this, there's going to be, a nasty asterisk, next to his application for the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
So, Definitely an issue to look at, and it could be something that holds him back in terms of his career legacy. But definitely weird that he's been suspended now a 4th time in a calendar year. Ridiculous.
Crazy.
And there you go. That's what we have for you in the sports realm, and we'll end it there for the Sports Sampler. But we still have plenty more shows still to come. We've got the entertainment entree, and we've got the non-fortune cookie odd news. 2 more tasty tidbits for the show when we return, so don't go anywhere. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
If you go to Taco Bell at 3 in the morning, this is what you're going to get. Yeah,
That clip is already coming into play.
yes,
I love it.
already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on? That was
I don't
weird.
know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the
I
hell?
don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you into?
Basically, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh, my God.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're going to have to... Excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bowel.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart
and
once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then
Yeah.
Amazon can determine what
you-
medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder.
Oh.
I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of Cheetos?
Oh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered.
Cheetos. That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. All right. Yeah. That was one of those things. Yeah, we knew we had to tackle. We knew we had to get to. Part of this podcast is therapy, you know? We're trying to get over what the Eagles didn't do.
It's true.
The losing streak, but it's all a process. It's a grieving process. We make our way through.
That's right.
And we look forward to the following week. That's one of the best reasons to do this podcast, so
Absolutely.
it helps.
It does. Sometimes you just got to get something off your chest. We're all learning and growing and grieving together, and we're going to get better.
Yeah, so
Positive.
Yeah.
Positivity.
grow that flower,
Grow
Nick
it.
Sirianni.
Grow big and tall and strong, like a mighty oak.
I hope so, because otherwise they're going to be wiped out in the first round of the playoffs. Anyway, let's move forward. Let's leave the sports realm, and let's get to the next segment. It's time for the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, there you go. Also, since we're in Christmas time, I just want to mention Die Hard, absolutely a Christmas movie. And also, it's so great that that's the only movie that you could write a letter to. Because I love that. I love that in our entertainment entree bumper. It says, Dear Die Hard,
Dear
you
Die Hard.
rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
It's true.
I don't hear
good part.
I don't hear anybody else writing a letter to another movie.
I've never seen anybody or heard of anybody writing a letter to a movie except Die Hard.
Right.
It's so good. It's almost like its own living entity.
It's a Christmas friend.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what happens. You see your friend at Christmas time.
Yep.
And you see Die Hard, and you write a letter to it.
Yeah. Dear Die Hard, how are you? How has your year been?
Yeah.
The kids are good. They're going off to college soon. It's like one of those like long Christmas letters, you know?
Yeah. You rock.
You rock.
Anyway, there you go. Let's get into the segment now where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for Christmas weekend, if there's anything new coming out with movies, TV, and video games in Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, what jollies can you find for the people?
All right, well, first up in movies, we have one movie getting a wider release this week. I think it technically released last week, but in a very limited release. Hopefully it'll hit more theaters this week. That's American Fiction coming out. It is a new dramedy. It's doing very well with critics so far, earning a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, with an average score of 8.1 out of 10. Here's the synopsis. Jeffrey Wright stars as Monk, a frustrated novelist who's fed up with the establishment profiting from quote-unquote black entertainment that relies on tired and offensive tropes. To prove his point, Monk uses a pen name to write an outlandish black book of his own, a book that propels him to the heart of hypocrisy and the madness he claims to disdain. So it's all about an author trying to buck trends and show how ridiculous it is, but everybody ends up loving his absolutely ridiculous book. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's got a very interesting, fun, dramatic, comedic premise. So I'd be interested to check it out. And with the positive critic reviews, it's definitely one to keep on your radar. If you're looking for even more comedy good, there's on television a new comedy special. Trevor Noah has a new Netflix comedy special coming out this week titled Trevor Noah, Where Was I? The special covers the comic's recent travels around the world and discusses topics from national anthems to cultural norms. This is interesting because currently fans have it at a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's fan reviews. Seems to be a little divisive, probably because of the subject matter. But if you know Trevor Noah, you know his brand of humor, you know the stuff he kind of touches on. So if that seems up your alley, go check it out. It seems like it's more of the same. If it's making some people mad, it's going to make some people real happy. So go check out Trevor Noah's special, Trevor Noah, Where Was I? On Netflix this week. And that's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, Mikey, thank you for that segment this week in entertainment. All right, we have a big headline to cover in the entertainment world. And boy, when this news headline hit, I texted everybody that were big fans of Marvel, because this is definitely going to shake up the universe. And that is the fact that Disney has officially dropped Johnathan Majors after he was found guilty of the charges against him.
Oh, now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
Yep, he done goofed. That was bad.
Yep.
Because you done goofed.
Yep.
Yeah, he goofed in a big way, found guilty of third-degree reckless assault and harassment of his ex-girlfriend. This is one incredibly sad news to hear about Johnathan Majors. Very awful things that he did. And for Marvel, just a really bad situation because they hitched their wagon to him as being the big bad over the next 2-3 years of film and TV.
Oh, now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
Yeah. This is that at least they kind of have an out with like the whole multiverse. There's avenues they can go down, but exactly like you said, they tied their future to this guy.
Yeah.
And now it's not gonna pay off with, at least not with him. They've officially dropped him.
Yeah, it's really like I said, it's sad what he did, so they absolutely had to drop him. I don't think they had any other choice, but you'd have to imagine inside Disney and Marvel, they must be scrambling a little bit, trying to figure out what to do. We talked a little bit in weeks past about kind of the turmoil inside Disney and Marvel, and it's finally all coming to a head here. From what I understand, there had already been talks internally about pivoting away from the multiverse saga. Like, even though they've already outlined it all and did all that work with it, they were thinking, like, maybe it's not working out. We got to start coming up with a plan B in case this happens. And it did happen.
I hope they got it ready because, they're going to have to throw it out there.
So I guess the big question is, where does Marvel go from here? And is this the drastic change that Marvel needs to kind of reinvigorate their movie franchise in a weird sort of way that this horrible thing happens and it's awful for all those parties involved, but for Marvel, it may be the escape hatch that they needed?
Well, I mean, I don't know about escape hatch that they needed because, I mean, I think they really wanted to do the Kang storyline. I mean, they were gonna,
but it wasn't working though.
But they were gonna do a whole Kang movie. What was it? There's going to be like the Kang Dynasty.
Yeah,
that was going to be its own movie.
They were going to do, I can't remember the order of it, but they were going to do Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, both of which involve Kang the Conqueror as the big bad or a big
So there was going to be multiple movies coming up with him.
Absolutely. He was the next Thanos.
Yeah. So that's a big problem to have with this development.
Yeah.
But with it being a multiverse and, there are definitely ways you can rewrite this. Do you think they recast Kang or do you think they completely go in a whole new direction and a whole new bad villain?
I'm almost of the opinion that the multiverse saga has become somewhat of a mess. I think every new TV show and movie, people are left wondering, okay, why does this matter? Like Moon Knight, why does this matter? Ant-Man kind of sucked. Thor kind of sucked. Loki, great, but without spoiling too much, like they kind of fixed things, right? So why does it matter? Like every movie and TV show, I'm like, okay, I don't see what the point is. They're all good. They're all good separate entities, but there's no looming big bad because they keep defeating him. And I guess that's the whole point is he keeps coming back. I think they should just let him stay defeated. Like,
well, they're going to have to now at this point.
I don't think they should recast. Disney's recast in the past without any problems. They recast Rhodes. They recast Hulk. I'm sure there's some other small parts that they've recast over the years that I just can't remember. They, after Chadwick Boseman passed, sadly, they completely rewrote the Black Panther sequel. So they've done things like that in the past. I think they should just use it as a convenient out and say, Loki 2, multiverse, done, solved, fixed it, whatever they did, it's okay now. Thumbs up, everybody.
Loki did it.
TVA's got it under control. And use it as an entry point for X-Men, Deadpool, Fantastic Four to come in and kind of give it the jolt of life that it needs. Because I don't think I'm alone in saying that Marvel's kind of like wayward right now. Do you get that feeling?
They don't know who their core group of heroes are going to be for like the next, not Avengers movie, but the next like major installment. They don't know who the core heroes are going to be.
The cast got so unwieldy and the plot lines got so tangled that I think that the head honchos, the writers, were finding them in a situation where it was hard to pull in all the pieces. Like it got away from them.
Yeah.
I think a little bit is what it all feels like. You have these properties that don't really fit in anywhere. Like She-Hulk was fun, but like, what even was that? It was a great standalone thing. But like, what?
Yeah, is she going to show up? Is she going to be an Avenger now? Like, how does this work?
The other one, Miss Marvel, another great one, and then like randomly she like switches places with Captain Marvel, and then they became their own superhero team. Like, I haven't seen the Marvels, so I can't speak to that. But Miss Marvel, great show. But again, like, why and where? Loki, fantastic, very self-contained, not really needed. I felt like both the first one set up the second one great. The second one kind of put a feather in it. We don't need to revisit that.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it undercuts what happened if you're just like, oh, it's still bad.
I really feel that way about Moon Knight.
Moon Knight too.
I liked Moon Knight, but
why?
Yeah, is he going to team up? Does he come into this? Like, yeah, I don't like. There needs to be like decisions made as to whether or not like is this going to be necessary viewing for the overall trajectory of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or are they just fun little one-off things that don't have anything to do with the main storyline?
And like, remember, I'm not like speaking out of turn here. Marvel and Disney themselves are worried about this because Quantumania bombed.
Yep.
The Marvels bombed. Bob Iger said we had too many releases. Like, they know it is kind of broken. At one point, you go back 5-6 years, what would I say? Marvel can't miss.
Yeah, couldn't do no wrong.
Now I'm like, I can't even name a Marvel thing that I got really excited about or enjoyed watching since like
Loki 2.
Maybe Loki 2, but even then I kind of had to convince myself to finish it, and I'm glad that I did. But there was a point where I was like, I don't want to. Like, what does it matter? I did, and it was good. Go watch it. But yeah, I don't know. I think that in a weird way, Johnathan Majors getting arrested and convicted, it's going to sound bad, but Disney's like, hold on a second. They rub their little palms together. Mickey Mouse is, ha ha, I figured it out. Kang's dead. There you go. Kang's dead. They did it.
Yeah, he's permanently dead.
They did it. Ant-Man did it. Loki did it. The saviors of the world. Then a shadow looms. What is that?
Doctor Doom?
No, it's Silver Surfer. Why is he here? He's the herald of Galactus.
Oh, yeah, you love Galactus.
X-Men. He's called the World Eater.
Yep.
How do you top Thanos, a guy who eats worlds? You can get at least 2 whole phases out of this.
Just make sure you cast the right person this time.
Make sure you cast the right people and that they're not like actual criminals. Do your background research.
Yeah.
Have they injured or harassed anybody in the past? Do your due diligence, Disney. But you have one phase where you're introducing X-Men, which brings in Deadpool. Fantastic Four because of Silver Surfer. That's a whole phase. Then it's like the gear up to Galactus arriving. That's the second phase. Third phase is Galactus. It's that simple. Kang is dead. Just kill him. Just be done.
There you go.
Just be done.
And you represent Marvel. You've got the Marvel shirt on, so there you go. Yeah. You're already pitching this to the Marvel writing room. So you're good.
Yeah, I think Phase 4 was like fun, if not confusing. Phase 5 has been a disaster.
All right, so there you go. That's the current state of Disney and Marvel after Johnathan Majors is officially out and found guilty of reckless assault and harassment.
Ugly stuff.
Yeah, wasted potential because
he was a fantastic actor, but being a fantastic actor doesn't absolve you of beating people.
No,
Not good.
absolutely not. All right, and real quick, we have this other news bulletin here. Something else that got canceled. First, it was Johnathan Majors. Then it was also Last of Us Online officially getting cut as well.
Yeah, this is a sad one. Just a quick update here because it is a developing story, and not a lot of known of it other than the statements released by Naughty Dog. But Naughty Dog has officially canceled their long-in-development multiplayer version of The Last of Us Online. This was a spin-off from the popular Last of Us Factions mode from the first game. People wanted another online version of The Last of Us. They had a big, ambitious project. But they said that, when they got down to it, they realized that they would have to devote all of their studio resources for years in order to support and build the game that they envisioned. It was that ambitious. So they were faced with a decision: become a solely live service game studio, and that's the only thing they do, or continue to focus on single player narrative games. And I think, they said it was an incredibly hard decision, and understandably so. They put a lot of work into it. But I think it was ultimately an easy decision, because to become a solely live service game and just completely leave that entire legacy of all those great story games that they've made over the years, that would just be such a crime.
Yeah.
So
I always kind of go back to my position that I would rather have a good first person singular player story mode over the multiplayer. To me, multiplayer should always be the bonus, should always be the secondary focus.
Yeah.
Games that focus that as their primary goal, I don't know. They just to me they just don't work right. I think it never ends well.
I think the games that stick with people the longest are the games with great stories.
Yep.
I think people always go back to, all the Grand Theft Autos before there was online mode. Like, that's what they loved. Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5 before online came out. It was all single player.
Yeah.
There was no multiplayer. They had like 5 amazing games without multiplayer. The BioShocks, The Last of Us, The Portal, Red Dead Redemption, all the Final Fantasy games that people love, all the Resident Evil games that people love. It's all about the story and how the gameplay and story work together. Multiplayer is great. It brings people together, but it's a bonus. It's icing. It's the cherry on top. It's not, I think, what should be the sole purpose of the game. Yeah. And Naughty Dog being a premier single-player developer, they needed to stay true to their DNA.
Yeah, focus on your bread and butter. Focus on what you're good at. Stay with the story. I want to hear more of that. Not multiplayer. It's just... and sometimes it just feels like you're shoehorning in that, and sometimes to make it seem like, oh, we also got a multiplayer mode.
Right.
It's like, how often are you really going to play multiplayer? It's got to be, like, the bar for multiplayer is so high. Like, it's got to be a really good interface, gameplay, fighting system, level up system. There's so many things that got to go right for a multiplayer game for me to get hooked into it. I don't know. To me, it's just, I'd rather you focus on the single player.
I've played great multiplayer experiences, but the games that truly stick with me after years are those great single-player stories.
Yeah. So, not a surprise, in my opinion, that Last of Us Online is officially canceled.
Yeah.
Stick with the stories, and let me know if there's going to be a Last of Us 3. we'll get to that.
Right? I want to hear that news.
Yeah. But there you go. That'll wrap it up for the entertainment entree. And it's now time to get to our third and final portion of our show, the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing.
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Mandada bastata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to and why?
All right, I'm going to try and fit two stories in this one.
Let's do it. I love it.
And the first one is Florida.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
And it also has to do with one of our favorite locations, Wawa.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Wawa's getting introduced to Florida, man.
Okay, interesting.
Congratulations, Wawa.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Yep, this is what happens when you enter Florida. You're on your own.
It's a dangerous place. So, Wawa and Florida together, this sounds interesting.
Yep, at one of the new Wawa convenience stores in St. Petersburg, Florida, we have a story of 32-year-old Daniel Palomino. He got angry with a Wawa worker and decided to throw a chicken finger at her that was covered in a spicy Nashville sauce that got into the worker's eye, according to police.
Not a finger!
Yeah, how dare you? Not a crispy chicken finger.
Not a finger!
Not a finger, no.
Not a finger!
And definitely not one covered in Nashville spicy seasoning. Man, that is some hot stuff. If you've never accidentally rubbed your eyes after eating something spicy, oh man. Oof, that makes it like 100 times worse.
Yep. And yeah, the chicken finger got right into the worker's eye, according to police report.
Not a finger!
So, oof, right in the eye.
Oh, that poor Wawa person.
The fight happened at 1:20 a.m.
Of course it did.
Yeah, that's a good time to visit a Wawa too.
The normal people never show up at like 2 p.m. It's always like in the late night, early morning.
Yeah. Palomino was upset because police noted that he did not believe the chicken was cooked completely and responded by throwing the chicken finger at the Wawa worker.
Not a finger!
Why would he just not say, hey, it's undercooked. Could you nuke it a couple seconds?
No, how dare you? I'm going to fling this right back at you.
That's the only way to get the message across is by literally throwing the message at them.
Right.
This is undercooked. Take a look.
Yeah. How dare you? You flung it at me. I'm flinging it back at you.
Yeah.
Take that. Aha.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
I highly doubt it was undercooked because I'm pretty sure that stuff is like pre-cooked and they're just like warming it up. You know what I mean? It's like the Tyson's chicken strips you buy in the frozen section.
Yeah, they usually have like the crisper.
They don't want the risk of serving people raw chicken, undercooked chicken. Are you kidding me? That stuff's been cooked 4 times over by the time it gets to you.
Not a finger!
Yeah, so I don't know why he was that upset over the chicken finger.
Yeah, I highly doubt it was undercooked. But if it was, all you got to do is say, hey, I'm sorry. Could you warm this up for me? It looks a little undercooked. You know, or can I have a replacement? I never understand these stories where, like, something's wrong and they just resort to, like, throwing like a child.
That's actual,
like a child or like an Alex Jones.
It's actual audio.
That is,
upset. Very upset.
It was a long wind-up.
Yeah.
It was like one of the, like a softball wind-up. You know?
That's how powerful it was.
Yeah.
He had to charge up his arm.
It's over 9,000.
Yeah. Get it ready.
He's like, yeah, winding up.
It's hell of a wind-up. The Rays might need him down in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Palomino lives about a mile from the Wawa. Was under the influence of alcohol, but he was arrested. Police had to confiscate a baseball bat that was found in his car because he has a previous arrest for aggravated assault.
Oh,
so.
Yikes.
I guess they were worried that he might go back to his car, grab a baseball bat, and beat the crap out of this.
I mean, he already attacked them with chicken.
Not a finger!
Yeah.
Not a finger, yeah.
Not a finger!
So it's I feel like in this case, being in Florida and at Wawa, it's a very small step from chicken to baseball bat.
He's ready for baseball. He's got the wind up. He's got the baseball bat.
What if
he should have been playing for the Rays?
What if he was just going to try out and he figured, I need a little bit of
at 1:20 a.m.
I need a little bit of protein. Hey, look, the workout never stops, Rich. Okay,
yeah, right.
All right,
the hustle never stops.
He's committed to his craft. Right, the hustle never stops.
Yeah. He was released after posting a $500 bond. It doesn't. Oh, here it is. He was charged with misdemeanor battery. That was his official charge.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But because he's got aggravated assault in the past, they had to confiscate his baseball bat. No more batting practice for this guy.
Not good.
Yeah, he can practice his wind up with the chicken finger, but that's it. That's all he can do.
Not a finger.
Alrighty, so there you go. And now let's get to my second story here, and this one is also a Florida story as well.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
A double dose of Florida. What a Christmas treat here, an early present.
Right, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas, right? We're just in the given mood.
Yeah.
So what is this story giving us?
All right. In this story, we're going to follow the case of 46-year-old Caleb Phillips.
All right. Yep. Sounds like a pretty normal dude, but I feel like he's not.
Yep. He was arrested on Monday on a warrant that was charging him with failure to appear in court in connection with a pending DUI case.
Okay.
So already, it's not good. You're not showing up to your court case for a DUI.
Does not paint a good picture.
Right. So already, you already got a couple strikes against you. He was arrested and then had to go to the Indian River County Jail, which I think we've been there before. That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Why does that sound familiar?
Yeah, I think we've had a couple stories there before.
Weird.
So. Yeah, this might be one of those epicenters of Florida odd news stories.
We've had that before. There's like certain nexus points where the odd news kind of just like
is localized.
Yeah. We need like how Loki has like the TVA. We need like the odd news VA.
Odd News Variance Authority.
Yeah. Was that the ONVA?
Yeah, ODVA. That's our odd news segment. Yeah,
I like it.
ODVA. Take that. Anyway. He was sent to the Indian River County Jail for the failure for not showing up to appear in court. While he was undressing from civilian clothing into jail clothing.
I don't know why it said it like that.
Right?
It's like weird.
That's a weird way to phrase that.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, you got to have jail clothing. Made it sound like he was on a little bit of a shopping spree. Like,
yeah, right.
Okay,
the hot new jail fashion.
I like the orange. I'll take the orange. Yeah.
What's the new jail fashion for 2024 coming out?
Yeah, right.
Winter 2024.
We need a whole like pageantry.
We need a prison pageant show.
Yeah, we need the catwalk. We got to have the guys walking down.
That would be
twirl. We got to show off the entire wardrobe.
Yeah, that would be something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny how that was worded.
Yeah.
Anyway, while he was getting changed from civilian clothing to jail clothing,
why did they say just getting changed into his prison jumpsuit? Why did they say from civilian? It is super weird. The more I think about it, it's just... Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
While that happened, a plastic cylinder fell out from under his penis. Oh, yeah, just...
classic.
Let's get to bashing butts as well as D's nuts.
Just fell right out. Boom.
They're always trying to hide something in some crevice or fold somewhere.
And when the sheriff's deputy opened up the plastic cylinder, that's when a substance that was confirmed to be meth was found.
You want to cook crystal meth?
I'm the cook.
Yeah, I got some
Yep.
meth, penis meth. I don't know what you want to call that. That's
penis meth.
Are you okay down there? Your penis?
Yeah. Is it like just flapping over the plastic cylinder?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
How was the cylinder placed? Was the dangle trying to like hide the cylinder?
Yeah, I think it was.
Or was it like kind of like only video viewers can see these amazing hand gestures.
Yeah.
Was it vertical or horizontal?
Right. I guess it had to be horizontal. I think that's the only way you can secure it.
To like tuck it up in there.
Right. Like that's how you get security underneath it.
Because
unless you're wearing like briefs, unless you got tighty whities on.
Yeah, maybe, and everything's just like all like like contained.
Are you okay down there? Your penis?
I really, really hope that that's what like the people in the jail said. Right down there.
Yeah, you're right down there.
Are you okay down there? Your penis?
All right, but guess what? The story doesn't end here.
Oh no!
Because
really,
that's usually like this kind of story.
That's it. That's the odd news.
Right. That's usually the kind of story I read to you.
Yeah.
But I know you, Mike Costanzo.
Okay.
I know you.
Lord.
I know you.
I'm terrified now.
And I know you love weird excuses.
Oh, I do.
So, of course, the cop asked him,
Hey,
why do you have this plastic cylinder?
Of course.
That's how it's phrased in the police report, too. Plastic cylinder.
Okay.
Why do you have this plastic cylinder in your groin area, in the penis area, hiding when how did that fall out? How did that get there?
Are you okay down there? Your penis?
So asked him, where did it come from? He said that, quote, first, I thought they were Advil pills. Okay.
What?
Sure. All right. That's your first excuse.
Lots of questions, but okay, I'm willing to hear them out.
Right. You get your meth confused with your Advil
all the time.
And then
time.
I got to store my Advil in my junk.
Where else? Where else do you store it?
Let's get to bashing butts as well as D's nuts.
It's like, I have a headache. Let me just fish my hand down my pants.
Honey, you have a headache? Here, let me help you.
Let me help you. Yeah.
Got to move my junk around.
That could be taken the wrong way.
Yeah, hold on. I'll help you out.
Holy crap. You are creepy as shit.
Yep.
Yeah, hold on. Let me move around here.
I thought they were...
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Quite literally.
Yeah, literally.
I feel like that would be kind of weird to have there.
Yeah.
Confuse them with Advil.
Sure.
So he goes into his medicine cabinet. Oh my God, I have such a bad headache. Open it up. Oh my God, I can't find the Advil. I just have meth here. Where did I put? Like, what happens if he takes the wrong one?
Oh, I hope this is my Advil. Oh no, it's meth.
Oh no, it's meth. Does meth help with headaches?
I always get them mixed up
Does
all the
Advil
time.
help with meth?
Yeah.
There's so many questions.
All right, but no, this is not the end of the story.
So, good first try. Second attempt, how's it go this time?
Then, when asked again, how did the plastic cylinder with the meth get under his penis while they were changing clothes? How did that happen? Phillips then said that, quote, sometimes my neighbor likes to put his things in my underwear.
No. Absolutely not. What?
Just for safekeeping. Oh, here, I'll hold your things in my junk.
But he said his neighbor puts it in his underwear.
Yes.
This presents a few different issues.
Yes, please analyze this.
First, I don't know what kind of relationship everybody has with their neighbors. Do they regularly come into your house, go upstairs, enter your bedroom, open your underwear drawer, find your underwear, and put something into it? That's a really close relationship with your neighbors.
Yeah, that's uncomfortably close.
Point the second you're getting dressed, you put on your underwear. It's right up against your skin. It's not a coat. It's not like baggy pants. It's not, a backpack, something that goes on the outside. It's right there. It's right there.
Are you okay down there? Your penis?
Yeah, it's right there.
It's right there. You don't notice, you don't feel something. And if you do, you don't say, whoa, why did my neighbor put something in my underwear again?
Oh, Jim.
You say, oh, that Bob, what a prankster.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Jim Bob did it again.
But then, regardless of your response, whether you're annoyed or pleasantly surprised, you don't take it out. You just leave it there.
It feels good.
And then over the course of the day, it somehow wedges itself further up into your junk, under your junk. That makes no sense. The physics of it, I don't think that makes any sense to me.
Yeah. Phillips also noted that sometimes he wakes up from a sleep and he says his neighbor puts things in his underwear.
What? You go to sleep and your neighbor's like,
oh,
I'm
man.
just gonna slip that in there.
My pills just came in. I better put them in his underwear for safekeeping.
But, is this supposed to be is the neighbor pranking him? Is this for safekeeping?
He just says this happens regularly. He claims.
All right, you know what? To be fair, we've been doing this podcast a while. I don't know what other excuse there is for this person's. That's the best you can do. Because you don't want to say, yeah, it's mine. So you got to push the blame onto someone else. But how did it get there? So the best he could do. I mean, what's a better excuse
than
than
my
that?
neighbor regularly puts pills in my underwear?
And he tried to say it was Advil. They didn't buy it.
Yeah, they didn't buy the Advil.
So he's gotta now reassess, and he's like, okay, so it can't be my pills. So it's got to be somebody else's. But whose pills are they? I know, the neighbor.
Yeah, he comes over when I'm asleep.
That's the best he could do. There really isn't much else you can say. They found something tucked under his dangle.
Yes.
Right there. So
Are you okay down there? Your penis?
So there's really no other avenue he can take.
Yeah.
I don't think the cops bought it.
I love just coming up with the actual ramifications of the excuses.
Yeah.
So your neighbor just regularly just comes in.
I mean,
leaves
really think about that. The neighbor comes in, goes
unannounced
to your bedroom
while you're asleep.
Yeah, the asleep part's even weirder. Like I said, I don't know what everybody else's relationship with their neighbors are, but I feel like it's not that. Whatever it is, it's not that. Or maybe it is. Not judging. To each their own.
Yeah. So
the neighbor did it. The neighbor broke in while he was sleeping, just nestled that, just tucked it. He just gently lifted it up.
Here you
slipped
go.
it in. Pat.
Call me in the morning.
Tucks him in. Call me in the morning.
Thanks for holding it for me, buddy.
But he woke up and he didn't notice anything? You didn't go to the bathroom?
It happens so often that this is just like a regular thing. Yeah.
There's something in there again. Shucks. He just goes about his day.
It's probably Advil.
It's probably yeah.
Yeah. So, as you suspect, the cops did not believe this at all. He was charged with narcotics possession and
Yep.
smuggling contraband into a
Yep.
detention facility, which are both felonies. So now his DUI case is going to get much worse because now he's being held without bond. So he's gonna have a lot more charges now to answer for.
Usually I get annoyed when people are like, oh, my friend asked me to hold it, but that would have been so much better than the neighbor story. Right?
I just love
like, this is the one case where saying it's your friends and they asked me to hold it.
I just love like he's unaware that this
Right.
all I was asleep. My neighbor comes in. I don't know he's there. He tucks it in the underwear.
But then he went his whole day.
Yeah, the whole day. I just put my underwear on. I didn't realize it.
And he's just like, nothing's weird. He didn't have to go to the bathroom, didn't feel anything, just... Then all of a sudden, he's switching from his civilian clothes to his prison attire.
Yes.
And I'm like, whoa, what's that? Where'd that come from?
Ta-da.
Oh, my neighbor, Bob.
That crafty Jim Bob.
That crafty Jim Bob, always playing some funny pranks, putting Advil under my penis. Who? April Fools, you got me again. Oh,
there's a sentence.
Oh, fun times. Jim Bob put Advil under my penis. Nobody in the written history of humanity, from the dawn of time to now, the whole Space Odyssey, 2001, never has that sentence been uttered.
Yeah, that is a very unique sentence that we've created here on the Crispy Noodle podcast.
The things that this podcast drives me to do.
There you go.
Unholy things.
Well, there you go. That is what that guy claimed. Florida.
Jim Bob put Advil under my penis again.
Yep. That darn Jim Bob.
Darn Jim Bob.
He's always up to something. So,
what a world.
Yes.
What a world. What a Christmas present from the Odd News.
Yeah.
I feel so merry and bright now.
I thought you would enjoy that one.
Merry and brighter than the people in those stories.
Again, that had like a lot of hallmarks. It was Florida. It was something
it was
in
drugs.
The, in
the groin
area
region,
and then a ridiculous excuse, which I know you love.
I love it.
So
love it.
There you go. That was a slam dunk.
Absolutely. Grand slam, slam dunk, touchdown, hole in one, hat trick.
Everything.
I think I got them all.
Yeah. So there you go. What a way to end this episode of the Crispy Noodle podcast and send you guys out for Christmas. We want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. In the meantime, before we get to Christmas, though, I want to thank you guys for supporting us this whole year. Everything that we've been able to do is thanks to you guys. That you guys support our little show, and we keep the wheels going here on this crazy bus between the Sports Sampler, the Entertainment Entree, and the Non-Fortune Cookie Odd News. So once again, thank you guys for supporting us. Make sure to go to our website, crispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all social media, Hubbabaloo, and make sure you have a way to get every episode sent to you, whether that is through YouTube, just hit that subscribe button, or whether it's on Spotify, where you can do the video podcast, or you can listen to us in the background as an audio-only podcast and take us with you on the go with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So all the ways there to follow us and keep us with you on the go this holiday season. And again, once again, thank you guys for supporting us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's not possible without you guys. We do it for you. Thanks for going on this crazy ride with us. So many ways to take that ride with us. But if you need to get in touch with us individually, say, hey, driver, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
You can find us individually on Twitter to share your sports, entertainment, and odd news stories. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I'm at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on X or Instagram or whatever and let us know what's happening. But that'll do it. Merry Christmas. Have a very wonderful, safe Christmas. Enjoy. And we'll see you guys next week for the last episode of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and see you guys next week.
Yep, that'll do it. We'll see you guys then later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.